So you produced this movie. Do you have any aspirations to write or direct in the future?
Yeah, I do. I've written some plays and stuff before, and short films and things like that. And so, as I get more involved in the industry and really more connected to the producing side of things, I think there are stories that I want to be able to tell myself, and hopefully have the opportunities to do so in the coming years.
Making the right decision sometimes is not going to make you popular. It's not going to make you well liked by those, but doing the right thing in small ways. I think about someone who was a mentor to me, and he talked about his father when he passed away. And he said he never hesitated to do the right thing. And sometimes you look at like what Father Flanagan did, it seems impossible, right? How do you do something of that grand scale? I think you do it by repetition, and so you do it every day, over and over again. If you make the right decisions all the time, when it comes time and you're in a spot to make big decisions that will affect a lot of people, it's just regular. It doesn't seem like extraordinary because you've just been making the right decision. So it's challenged me to care for those in my life, and especially in the way that the tenderness that Father Flanagan did, because I think he was a father, like a true father to so many boys. And he did that not just by, I mean, as a father, it's sometimes hard to be a father, but the tenderness, that's really what touches young men, young children. And to replicate that in my own life is something that I strive to.
Right from the get-go, when I was asked to be involved in the project, I did a little digging on Father Flanagan. I said, I got to know who this guy is, a little bit more than just the superficial stuff that I think most people know. Father Flanagan, Boys Town. What's his real story? And as I started digging in to his life and his legacy and his work across the world, I immediately gravitated towards his character. I was attracted to his leadership, his virtue, his heroism, and I said, this is a project that I just simply need to be a part of. I need to be involved in however possible to help tell the story as best that I can, best that we can. Oh no, I've been here a number of times filming, and I've had a tour through campus a couple of times, and yeah, I love being here. It's kind of like being home in a sense, as over the last few years I've been here a number of times. So.
The first time you came here, were there any questions that you had that were up in the air?
Yeah, well, fortunately, the first time I was here, I think I had the best I had the best person I think possible to give me a little bit of the rundown of the place, and that's Tom Lynch. He is an absolute wizard of all of the history here and all the buildings and the importance of what this place means and has meant to so many boys. And so really all of my questions were answered, I think, physically there, but throughout the filmmaking process. And as we put the film together, all of those locations started to have a much deeper meaning once I had a deeper, a more hands-on experience of what happened in this place.
What drew us to tell the story of Father Flanagan is his life. Is as soon as you get to know Father Flanagan, there's story after story from working with boys here at Boys Town to traveling all over the world after the Second World War. He cared for children all over, and he just kept pushing forward in faith.
So what was the process like behind making this film?
The process was a lot of time here in beautiful Boys Town, getting to know the archives and the people who are so faithfully devoted to him and who love him so dearly, and some of whom met him while he was still alive. And then going out from here to places like Germany and Austria and Japan, where people still remember him and love him and are inspired by his example to this day.
Are there any more stories of people of faith that you're looking to produce right now?
We're always featuring people of faith, some with their causes open, and often everyday individuals who are saints in their own lives. And I think Father Flanagan is a great example of that for us and for everybody, of how we can be saints in our daily lives.
If there's one Bible verse that was highlighted in the story of Father Flanagan, what would you think that would be? And you can paraphrase.
Okay. I just think for Father Flanagan, I think of all the footage later in his life and all the photos of all of the children running to him at Boys Town and all over the world. And he knew each of them by name, and they knew him, and they would always give him such a warm welcome. And I can't help but think about when our Lord said, "Let the children come to me."
You know, I think Father Flanagan is one of those individuals that is very overlooked in our society, and there's so many other saints that rightly so get the limelight, but Father Flanagan, as soon as we started hearing more about his story, it was just amazing. All of everything that he was able to accomplish, the amount of people he was able to impact, and really, I couldn't think of a better individual to focus on these days with the way that our education system is sometimes, and parenting and all of that. He is such an inspiration and very needed for our culture.
What was the most surprising thing you learned about Father Flanagan?
I think one of the most surprising things that we found out was just how global his influence was. You know, you think about Boys Town and the things that he was able to accomplish in the Omaha area, and it's really impressive. But then to know that he was global in his reach, he was able to go to Japan and to Germany and all of these other locations and really influence the culture and influence their education systems. It was a shock, but also just a real inspiration.
The story is that the Japanese, when they encountered priests, they would use this word called foreigner. It was a pejorative. And when Father Flanagan came after World War II and really built the entire social service system for children there, they changed the Japanese language so that the word they used for a Catholic priest was now holy man. In that way, Father Flanagan changed the world forever, and that's just why we're here to celebrate him.
Let the little ones come to me and do not hold them back. He really believed in the dignity and the worth of each and every human being, including troubled youth, who he primarily ministered to throughout his life. But it was really, he was a Christian personalist. What do I mean by that? He saw in each and every human person the face of Jesus Christ, regardless of color or creed or anything. In each and every human person, he saw Jesus and wanted to serve Jesus. But he had a particular, through Boys Town, a heart and a love for the youth. So let the little ones come to me. That's what I would say.
What would be one thing you would want audiences to learn about Father Flanagan?
Charity in all things, even in the face of folks maybe not being charitable to you. He never lost his cool or his calm, and he never returned any type of negative reaction to him. He never returned that with a negative reaction back. He was always very loving, very kind, very merciful, and gentle.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. God bless.
I have to say, it was surprising and sad to me. I did not really know how he died, and that he died actually trying to help orphans in another country, trying to help them understand how do we deal with these orphans as a result of this war. So he's over in Germany and had a massive heart attack, but he was still doing pretty much what he was doing in the United States, trying to do in another country. So that to me was surprising, and also bittersweet.
How has Father Flanagan's story influenced how you approach your everyday life?
Oh gosh, I think he's a witness to standing on your beliefs, persevering in the face of adversity and never giving up, and believing in the beauty of the human person, that there are no bad people, just bad situations. So that did it for me.
If you enjoy videos that follow your values like ours and you want to help us continue, go to movieguide.org/donate, because we're actually a nonprofit. You may not know that, but we're working in Hollywood every day to help families have more choices that follows their values. And also subscribe right now.